Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Friday's episode of Love After Lockup. Daonte and Nicole, we saw a pretty explosive fight happen between the two. I, for one, am so proud of Daonte for seemingly to finally stand up for himself and call out Nicole on some of her bullshit behavior. Also, we are going to talk about that dinner between Nicole, Daonte, and Daonte's mother. So let's just hop into it. So overall, it's become pretty apparent from every single episode that we've seen so far on Love After Lockup that Nicolle is clearly just using Daonte to fund her lifestyle while I don't know if it's meaning to be temporary for her. He's clearly just a stop along the way so she can be financially stable while she explores relationships with some of her exes. We see she's talking to an ex, Tia, who we know she's actually married to now in real life. We see her talking to an ex named Zach. We don't know if he's going to be introduced at some point on this season. We'll see. We know for sure, though, Tia will be. You know, on the one hand, should Daonte be a whole lot more discerning? Absolutely. Does his mom have every right to be skeptical? And she seemed kind of irritated by Nicole, and I think she has every right to be. I mean, we're going to talk about it in just a second, but Daonte's relationship with his ex, Chelsea, who they showed on this episode, and his relationship with Nicole, they actually kind of overlapped. I spoke with a source close to Daonte and his family, and that relationship with Chelsea was really winding down as his relationship with Nicole was taking off. So, you know, watching your son lose everything, have to move back in with you, I can totally see why Daonte's mother is super skeptical of him bringing home another ex-con. With that being said, does that excuse Nicole's behavior at all, being that Daonte should absolutely be more discerning? And I don't think it does. I think Nicolle is one of the most brazen, shitty people we've seen on this series so far. You know, I watch 90 Day Fiancé. I watch Real Housewives. There's always aspects to some of these stories where is someone with someone for something, right? On Real Housewives, we see people being accused of being gold diggers. On 90 Day Fiancé, we see people being accused of being just in it for the green card. So this idea that someone is seemingly being, quote, used is not necessarily a novel idea, but Nicole really takes it and turns it into an art form. Just her lack of discretion, her lack of even giving a shit at all that Daonte is a human being, he's not just an ATM machine, is really something to behold. So as it's pretty clear, there's no love lost for me when it comes to Nicole. I think she's a scammer. I think that's pretty obvious. She's admitted to being a scammer. In the episode, she says, no one in this world can tell me what to do. Well, I think it's the attitude of a person like that is exactly the type of attitude that lands you behind bars. When you think that you know better than everyone else and that nobody can tell you what to do. And I think she's surrounded herself with enablers in her life. And, you know, why couldn't, I mean, we saw with Courtney and Josh might not be allowed. I don't think they've really hashed that out. Might not be allowed to parole with Courtney after his quarantine. But like, where's Tia if this girl's the love of your life to help and support you after you get out of prison? Where's Zach? Why is it only Daonte that's there for you? Anyways, so finally we see, you know, they're coming. Oh, it was kind of weird. It looks like they're showing up at a dinner, but they're actually cooking dinner at Daonte's apartment. So I thought that was kind of weird. But anyways, they're cooking dinner at Daonte's apartment and they get into an argument because Tia is on the phone again Couple episodes back, she was on the phone with Zach. Now she's on the phone with Tia because it's Tia's birthday. And she admitted in the last episode that she dated Tia when she was in prison, which, how does dating in prison even work? I think you're just hooking up. It's kind of like when we watch the show Catfish and people say they're long distance dating. Huh? But anyways, I digress. I was so proud of Deontay in this moment when he stood up. You know, this is his apartment. That is a phone that he pays for. You know, it's not a huge place. It's not the White House. It's not this huge place where she could be on one side and he's like eavesdropping. He's just literally standing outside the door. So, but he was listening in. Anyways, I totally was so proud of him in this moment for really standing up for himself. It seemed like for a second he wised up to what the deal really was.
Here in my house making a joke out of me to some bitch you been.
Were you sitting in here?
I heard all that.
What I
want
say?
you to, so you come here on the night. Don't you put your hand in my face.
I asked her to come and get me.
I don't want to be here. I heard what you said.
You know, Nicole just doesn't even have anything to say for herself. She's just angry at Daonte for having a sex toy, and she's angry that he overheard her conversation. But really, the actual crux of her conversation with Tia was for Tia to come get her and for her to just ditch out on this dinner. So, but that's not even being discussed. The only thing she cares about is yelling at Daonte about having a sex toy, which whatever. So Daonte's mom comes over. We finally meet Daonte's mom, and she is just, she's awesome. I love Daonte's mother. We did meet her at the beginning of this season, but then we haven't really seen her again, and I've been waiting to have her on because we need a voice of reason in this storyline, and that is Daonte's mom. So she is just not impressed by Nicole.
You love my son a lot.
Well, he's a big gentleman. You raised a good man.
I do know that. I know his characteristics. Mm-hmm. I know that he wears his heart on his sleeve, and that's why I'm so protective over him. Because he's been through a lot.
I know.
Nicole, for as conniving and cunning she tries to be, she's not very good at it, which I guess that's probably what landed her behind bars in the first place. Her really just, she couldn't even seem to come up with a reason why she even likes Daonte. And the reason seems super, like, I could tell you raised a good man. And Daonte's mom was just like, yeah, I know. And so Daonte's mom was just totally not impressed by Nicole. It seemed Nicole didn't even want to be there for I think she said that she had been out of jail for about a week and that they had been spending every waking moment together. It seems like the two haven't even really had a conversation because they don't seem comfortable around each other at all. I think for Daonte's part, it could be the fact that he might not feel comfortable with cameras on him. That's totally understandable. But for Nicole, I just think that she's not into this, and she didn't think that she was going to have to put in this much effort once she got out. I really don't know what she was thinking, but clearly this is like too much for her to have to fake it. So at this dinner, the subject of Daonte's ex, Chelsea, comes up.
I think a lot of your doubts, they come from him being with that girl Chelsea and her doing him so wrong. And then I guess the simple fact that she was also in prison. Yes, I've asked her son for money, but I am very tired of being compared to this girl because I definitely have not asked for half the crazy that she has asked for.
So, Daonte's mom is worried that this is just another situation like the situation he was in with Chelsea, and that Nicole is going to bleed him dry and leave him out on his ass again. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I did speak to a source close to Daonte and his family, and from my understanding, the relationship with Chelsea and Nicole, like I said, that did overlap a little bit. So I get why Daonte's mom is so Reddit. Like, this is really, really fresh for her. Like, you just had your son living with you again. I do know from speaking with my source that Deontay did talk about his relationship with Chelsea more on the show, and either it hasn't been shown yet or it's been edited out. But Chelsea actually passed away in June of 2020. From what I was told, she died of an overdose, and that's incredibly tragic. And it just adds a whole nother layer of emotion to this situation for Deontay. Obviously, he's still mourning the loss of her. You know, just because you break up with somebody doesn't mean the feelings automatically go away. It usually takes a while to get over people, and you still could be processing that as you get into a relationship with someone else. Is that the healthiest thing? No, probably not. But it happens all the time. So I think that adds another layer. And I really wish, if this was when he talked about that relationship, I wish they would have shown it, because, you know, I think that adds some context to his storyline and kind of why he is the way that he is. You know, he could be super worried about losing someone else and, you know, just giving it all this time and not saying no. And I think that just adds context. So if they did edit it out, I just really wish they wouldn't have. So all in all, I'm totally team Daonte'S mom through all of this. I almost wish they would do like a pillow talk with Love After Lockup. We could have Derek. We could have some of these friends of, like, remember Sarah and Michael? Sarah had that friend. She could be on it. Tommy from Angela and Tony could be on, and just get their opinions, because I would just, especially the moms. The moms always don't hold back. I'm really curious as to how this storyline is going to evolve now that we know that they are introducing Tia. They do get to a wedding at some point, and I really don't know how, because I have to believe, hope and pray that Deontay has more common sense than this. But you know, when they say blinded by love, that's for real. And you know, common sense can sometimes go completely out the window. But I at least am super proud of him for standing up for himself and not putting up with so much of this bullshit, because Nicole really, like I said, has risen the level of fuckery to an art form. Make sure you like this video, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Reality Squad. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.